Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Masiak. This is the first episode of 2021. Here is to a different, better year. What I wrote in my family's Christmas card actually is, let me share a little piece of my family with you. Something I wrote on the back of our Christmas cards. This has been the year full of change, adventure, courage, love, and stress. Nonetheless, we are grateful for any and all moments we got to share with you this past year. May 2021 be less like a roller coaster and more like a lazy river. Always moving, but slow enough to enjoy the ride. I feel that life is constantly moving. We can't stop it. We can't slow it down. And maybe we can slow it down. We can't stop it. It's happening. Things are happening. However, it's about enjoying the ride. So here's hopefully it's a little slower, a little cozier, and a little bit more enjoyable this year for you and everybody listening. So this past year, yes, the world went craze, and I don't think we're over yet. But here's hoping. I'm crossing all fingers and toes right now. So it has been a crazy year. And then on top of that, I uprooted my family across the country and we moved to British Columbia in Canada. We stayed in Canada. And we moved from Ontario and we went on the Sunshine Coast. So, city life to small town living on the coast. Huge move. It was just something we felt it was time to do. And we planned on doing it before things went crazy. However, it slowed us down a little, just by 2 months, but we still did it because, where there's a will, there's a way. So I manifested, one of the biggest things I've ever manifested in my life this past year, I feel. Super manifesting going on. And it was amazing. And it is amazing. And I want to share a little bit about how I got there. Or how I got here, really, because we're still here living the dream. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't do vision boards. I love the idea of them. I don't love the idea of sitting down and trying to find magazines. I don't actually own magazines anymore, really. Everything's online. And then the thought of having to print everything out off the computer, I'm like, it just doesn't light me up. So here's a first tip of creating and manifesting your dream life. Do what feels good to you. So if somebody else has manifested a certain way, but it doesn't feel good to you, throw it out the window. So everything that I've just said, or I'm about to say, might not resonate with you. Some of it might, some of it might not. And that is totally okay. So what I did was I had this deep desire of living by the water, by an ocean. I actually had this vision of a small town where it has, everything you need. And at the same time, kind of just small town, not too many people. So I had this idea and I just had no idea where. And I kept anybody listening knows I love Hallmark movies. And I might have actually shared the story. So I do apologize if you've heard it, but it's a magical one. And I feel like it's fitting for this episode. I had no idea where I wanted to move. And I have shared my thoughts with my husband. So, because, we're a team, I can't just pick up and leave him behind, really. Well, I guess I could, but I didn't want to. So I was sharing my thoughts with him. And at that time, I think he just probably thought it was a wild dream that was probably never going to happen. Or if it would, it'd be 5, maybe 10 years out the way. So I was just, thinking. I even looked in Ontario. I didn't want to leave my family. Always been a very family-oriented person. But I had this calling to live a different lifestyle that we were living at that moment. And I was looking and I was looking and I was looking. And nothing in Ontario really stood out to me. And like I was about to say before I got off track was I love Hallmark movies. So I started looking at where they were filmed because I loved the backdrop of them. Everything was beautiful. The towns were gorgeous. Everything was very quaint. Now I know that Hallmark movies aren't real life. However, now walking here where some of the movies have been filmed really does feel like we're in a movie some days. However, I know I can, it's about realizing that movies are not real life. I've actually wrote, or I think I did a different podcast. No, I did a coffee chat about Hallmark movies are not real life. Anyways, because it can be easy to get lost in that magic. It really can. Anyways, so I was watching, I was looking, and I was like, oh my goodness, every town looked beautiful, but nothing felt right. Like it just was like, oh, it's beautiful. It just here and there, just nothing really felt well. Or not well, not great. Like it just didn't, deep down, it didn't feel right. Like it's about listening to your intuition. That's part of manifesting your dreams, is listening to intuition and following the signs that the universe shares. So, and asking for help, obviously, throughout the universe and people in your life. However, so I had no idea. I just knew I knew what I wanted, but I didn't find it yet. So my husband and I were sitting down to watch a movie, and it was actually called All Summer Long, in case you're interested, in case you're a Hallmark movie buff like me. And the movie started, and I was just like, that's it. Wherever this movie is filmed, we are moving there. And this was September 2019. And I just said it because I was like, hey, that sounds like, I had conviction in my voice. I like, yeah, that's where it, like, when I said it, I meant it for real, but I, at the same time, was saying it as a joke, if that makes any sense. And here we are now. We've moved. We've lived it. We're like less than a year. And here we are. It was a year to that date. Sorry. A year. We watched the movie in September. We moved here in September the following year. So dreams do come true if you listen to your intuition, if you make space for them to grow and to change and to just kind of take on a life of their own, and to have really strong, amazing tools behind it. Lead with love, focus on love. A lot of my focus was just really lead with love. So I'd have like a not great thought in my head, and I would just be like, what would love do? Because it's like, this is my thoughts in my head are not loving. And, just kind of always stay positive the best I could. And now that's not about, I have to be really clear about this, because staying positive is different than pretending to be happy, pretending to feel good. I spent a lot of my life doing that. I was a huge fan of The Secret. I tried so hard to manifest from that movie, and because it's all about like being positive stuff. But those years was not about me manifesting as much as about me healing. I pushed so many feelings behind there, like at that time in my life, because I'm like, oh, I have to be happy. I should feel good and all this stuff. It's not about not feeling, or it's about feeling good, yes. But if emotions come up, we don't push them under the rug. They're there for a reason. We need to figure out what they are. Say hello. Why are you here? And then, get to know them a little bit, and then show them to the door. And then, keep moving forward. So definitely feel your feelings. Try to do it in the best loving way possible, obviously. But just don't shove them down, because they will just keep popping back up. And then you'll have so many under that carpet that they'll just explode like a bottle of champagne. So other than listening to my intuition and, it was about staying positive and leading with love, and then addressing those emotions that would come up here and there. Some of it was fear. Definitely, I had to change my perspective and not care so much about what other people think. My husband and I wanted to move, and I know I've shared this on a different episode already. My husband and I had talked about for years, but I was always afraid of what other people would think, afraid of offending my family, afraid of hurting their feelings and things like that. And that's where the healing part came in for me. I had to heal those thoughts. I had to change my perspective and really just get clear on my why and things like that. Why is very important. I also did something really cool. And so I had all these tools, affirmations, mantras, like I had different things. And I was trying to do all these different things. Like I follow Gabby Bernstein, and I know I have always been a fan of Louise Hay, so I had affirmations of hers and different things. And I like the idea of vision boards, but like I said, the idea sounded good, but the work behind it didn't. So I decided I love creating videos and like artwork on the computer. And I actually, for my parents' 25th, like years ago, I created a movie with pictures and stuff. So I'm like, that's it. I'm going to make a video of like pictures of the things. So instead of printing off a million things off the computer, I took them, downloaded them, and created this movie. And then I backed it with music that inspired me. So every morning when I watched this movie and every night when I went to bed, I got inspired by the life I was creating. So in those moments where I didn't think that I was enough to be creating that dream, this lifestyle that I'm now living, and when I felt like giving up or things got really tough, I started playing this movie. And, I just put all the tools that I was trying to do every morning. Like I'd look and I'd open up Gabby's book and be like, oh, these are things that I want to say. Or I go to Louise's books that I've, highlighted or had bookmarked, and I didn't put those affirmations. Well, I just plopped that all into a movie, and it turned into about a 2 to 4 minute movie that I'd watch every morning and every night. And it just filled me up so much. And that's what I did. So I would just take all the tools that I created and put it into a 4 minute, instead of like, there was mornings where I didn't want to spend like 5 to 10 minutes like moving through all these books and listening to different affirmations or mantras. It just felt like too much work, because it was like all over. Let's rephrase. Not too much work. It felt unorganized and really confusing to me. So instead, I put it all together. So it was less confusing and more put together and more organized. So it felt really good. And that's what I mean. Like, it's about feeling good. So if you love vision boards, highly recommend. Like, it's so important to see visually what you want to create, or at least for me, because I'm a visual learner. I'm a visual hands-on doer. Like, I just like to see it. And so that's what worked for me. And it really just comes down to like a balance of staying positive and still, when something shows up for you, if somebody triggers you or you get emotional about something or things like that, like something stops you from doing something, like somebody's like, oh, what about if you do this to get yourself out there, or things like that. And you're like, whoa, figure out if it's something that just doesn't align with who you are, or is it fear standing in your way? Because honestly, to manifest the life I'm living right now, I had to shovel, I had to push so much fear out of the way, or to swim through it. I had to swim through it too. Sometimes you have to feel the fear and do it anyways. There's a really cool thing that I love, and it's for fear, what it stands for is face everything and rise. And that is what I did this past year. And like, you just had to face it head on, because yes, it hurts. Yes, it's crappy. Yes, it's yucky in the middle, and like, it's going to hurt. It is. It's going to hurt sometimes. But when you get to the other side, it is so, so, so worth it. And, the most amazing things in life take work, take effort. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy the process. But it's just like, if you want to eat a supper that's not out of a box or out of like from a frozen meal or takeout, it's going to involve cooking it, right? My husband and I, we cook like everything from scratch. We make our own salad dressings. We do a lot of from scratch. And there's times where we're like, why are we doing this to ourselves? This creates so many dishes, so many groceries, so much work. But in the end, it is so worth it. The food we create is delicious. And at the same time, we know what's in it. And I always tell my kids, it's always made with so much love too. So you're not going to find that in a cardboard frozen box of whatever. So enjoy the process, because in the end, it's this beautiful creation that you can say, I did this. I did it. So many things happened for me to get to this point in my life. Believing in myself, that took some time. Having a partner to believe in me, that came along for the ride with me, to remove fears, to move through the rest of the fears that I didn't remove, to find a routine that helps support me and keep me positive, and to help be that like leaning on support when I wanted to give up. Because trust me, I wanted to give up so many times. So many times. It's about doing the healing that's underneath there that you need to do. Now, you don't have to be fully healed, because trust me, I'm still working on things. Like, we're not ever healed. We always have things. We have junk in the trunk all the time. We need, it's a constant journey. So maybe there's just one little thing that you need to like uncover and remove and heal before you can move forward. Or maybe you're ready and you just need to find that wonderful routine that helps keep you motivated. Or maybe finding a group of people to help you motivate. There's tons of support out there, including myself. And maybe it's just listening to this podcast that needed to give you that shove forward and moving into your your greatest manifestation ever. Maybe it's about opening up and listening to signs of the universe. That was a big one for me, is knowing that the universe has my back. Yes, thank you, Gabby, for that one. The universe has our back. And it is just incredible when you find support via your own little vision board, or both, like a group, your own, routines and things like that. A spouse, a partner, a friend. Gabby calls it like your spiritual running buddy. It's always nice to have somebody in your court cheering you on. And that's what I focus on when I work with people. Being your own cheer. I'm your cheer squad. I cheer you on. So wherever you're trying to manifest, or what you're in the middle of doing this year, maybe it's health. Maybe it's just staying positive through the crazy life changes of our world that we're living in. Whatever it may be, I'm cheering you on every step of the way. You've got this. Whatever you want to go after, you have it deep down. Just need to find the right tools and put them into action that works and feels good to you. Cheering you on. Here's to 2021. I hope you have the most beautiful day and year ahead. Bye for now.